I am H.O. Talk Show. Sir Charles.
Miss Max.
Razor.
And the booth in the building.
We here, y'all.
Let me get my thingamajigs on. Let's do that. Let's get that right. Let me look like a real producer.
I see. He said, "Get my thingamajigger."
Yeah, because got to do it right for the people,
especially
when I looked online. Look, I'm gonna talk like I wasn't even there. When I looked online and I saw all the posts from this Jefferson City Center School Foundation,
right?
Event that was last night. Y'all were looking pretty sharp. I said, raise the cleanup way. Raise the cleanup way.
Did it look nice?
It's surprising with some water and a little scrubbing to do.
Yeah, man. So so I gotta, like after looking like that, like we gotta be on point.
Crazy, you can't just be saying stuff like that on the radio. Like some water and some scrubbing.
Yeah, I keep it real.
Yeah, man. But for the good folks that don't know, or maybe missed last show, Miss Max, we had our friends on, none other than James, aka Littles Dow, and we had Kimberly Sheffield.
That's right.
And they were talking about the board, the task force that Jefferson School now has, that Littles is on amongst some other great people.
That's right.
And then also Kim's position right now. How she's directing and coordinating all this community outreach over there for the foundation, and we may have new listeners every week, so we can't take this thing for granted. The Jefferson School Foundation owns the building, Jefferson School City Center, for those who may not know, and of course, there's a lot of tenants, a lot of folks there that make up that building that provide so many great services, whether it's nutritional, whether it's nonprofit services, that cover the whole gamut for the community and for families. Of course, one of the more esteemed ones and more popular ones, I guess you could say, that people know about is the African American Heritage Center. But there's other big names, just that some people may not know that they are housed there. Everybody heard of the YMCA. I'm sure plenty of folks right here know about Pearl Island. Simbareras, the Fountain Fund. So there's so many more. But what they're doing is that they are what was that thing? Reimagining, redefining, and refueling.
That's right.
For the future.
For the future.
Right. And so that was a celebration last night, and sort of a kickoff with a lot of the supporters and sponsors and whatnot of the Jefferson Foundation. And so that's what that was. And as Max, you mentioned last time, Kimberly talked about how there's going to be opportunity for the community as well to be more of a public open house type of setting. Right. But the kickoff last night, was focused on making sure that everybody knew the folks, on the boards and the members and all that kind of stuff, knowing what is happening and what that rebranding is going to look like. And y'all can go on our page. You can see the beautiful logos done that was led up by, our good brother Sarad with a DSID, his company, and got this new website rolling out. So that's what we were doing. That's why y'all saw Razor all fly dapper Dan, like with his white on, looked like he was going to looked like he got mob ties.
Put good stuff out.
Yeah, 007. But wait a minute, it don't just stop there. The two of you did an excellent job in allowing the people that went to the Jefferson School there back in the day to tell their story. Y'all were engageful. It was funny. It was enlightening. It was inspiring. They even reached back to 40, 50 years ago to sing a song that they used to sing to start their day. And that was the best part of the show for me, because as I was out in the audience, the people that remembered the song started singing and getting louder. It was almost like lift every voice, the way that we do. So that was the best part of the show for me. And then my girl Tara E. Farley did her thing. She did her little thing. You know what I'm saying? She had an inside joke for anybody that was there. You know what I'm saying? She encapsulated it. I mean, she drove the ship. And then the mad scientist, I'm gonna call her Chef Sheffield.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's her new nickname. Chef Sheffield.
With the pot.
Yeah, with the pot. She was stirring. She had the ice cubes. She was chefing that jump.
Wrist twisting like a stir fry.
Yes, indeed. I know you listening. We are so proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Take today and enjoy the moment.
Listen, please be proud of yourself.
Yes.
You did a phenomenal job. Your team did a phenomenal job. Last night couldn't have been any better. Couldn't have gone any better.
Hey, Max, when I looked at her team, including you and Charles, she had all winners. She had people that win. That's what they do. They don't know what loss is. They know what adversity is, but they don't know what loss is. There was no way that thing was not going to come out the way that it did. It couldn't have been no better.
Yeah, shout out to all the sponsors that was there, and shout out to our homeboy over at the Art Bar. He does so much for the Sanctuary of Soul, the art that our brother Jay Johnson is doing.
Good job,
and
Jay.
He got recognized and won an award for the night. So shouts out to you, my good brother.
He gave the Russell Simmons thing. It was like, say something. He was like, thank you. Good night.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know,
shout out to the caterer, DC Cuisine. Is that right? That's right.
Y'all look up. That's right.
Delicious.
Cuisine, always.
And I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed myself last night. That sharing that time with everyone and listening to the alumni of the Jefferson School speak, and not just that, but being a part of them sharing their story with the people that attended that event was just simply amazing, right? We've all been, I have, and everyone under the sound of my voice been to these different events, whether they be organizational events, whether they be fundraisers, whether they be communal events and different things like that. And each one has a vibe, right? And it's very easy to attend some of those things, and they have a not so good vibe. You know, we know how that is when family get together and cousin so and so don't like uncle so and so, and they're and I say all that to say that last night's event at the Jefferson Center was so rich in the affinity for what the center represents and what the cornerstone that it serves for the community and for the legacy of the individuals that attended that school. It was palpable. Like we were all there in celebration of that. And you know, I mean, I hesitate a little bit to put it this way, but when all of us get together, you know, it's with a love for something, you feel that. Yeah. And that was felt last night or yesterday evening. It was felt. And I just want to thank again Kimberly and her team for putting that together. For all those who showed up, Chef, because you know how we can do. You know, we'll say we'll be there, and you know, and not. But people showed up. People enjoyed themselves. They laughed. They talked. They mingled. Everyone was on one accord yesterday evening. Everyone, and it was a wonderful time. They took that Carver Center and turned it into a red carpet event. I could not have imagined what that place was going to look and feel like. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. And then I got a chance to appreciate it again when they turned the lights on and then everything was over and it went back to being what we know it to be. So the work that was put in by the team, the DJs, the digital people with the lighting, the team, the diversity. We had old white men, old black men, young white men, young black men, women, people looking beautiful. Like it was just all there for the same reason. And that was something that was echoed last night too. It was about the relationship building that's going on over there. That's why that's so important, is that the team that was put together was a wide spectrum of folks, and it was like people that have trust and that are experts in their own fields. And the beautiful thing about that to me is that we all were just trusted to do what we do. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like the Jefferson board, you know, wasn't overbearing. They, you know, they didn't micromanage you. Right. Like, so they knew that to, in order for that to be a success, tap into the people that you have right here. Like that know what to do in their respective fields. And that, Razor and Max, feeds into my favorite part of the night, which is that sense of community that kept being echoed. How the alum and people kept saying that what they want this generation to know and to remember is that it's about accountability. It's about, like, what's that saying that they had? It was like what's taught at home should be reinforced at school. Right. And so, and that ties in for me because the fact that the Jefferson Foundation looked at their community and said, who do we have in our community that should be a part of this, that can help us make this a success as we rebrand, right? And so that feeds into what we want young people and the families that's listening to us on air right now to remember that was the main takeaway, that the history of the Jefferson School, when it was an all-Black school, the community and the school was one and the same. You know what I mean? People had each other's backs.
there was accountability across the board. And so that's what today families and kids and schools and educators of today should learn. And that's why our brother Eddie even mentioned that's what he wants the folks to carry on with that legacy of today, is just recognizing that like we like we should be one.
Yeah, Charles, that's so
Still
important. Like, do y'all remember the movie? Max, we seen it not too long ago. It was like Thor, and when they destroyed their planet, Ragnarok, right?
Okay.
And then when they were looking at the planet being destroyed, I can reference that over to the way people were talking about Vinegar Hill, because I'm not from here, right? But the important thing about the movie is they said it was never about the physical place. It was always about the people. So if we in turn take the message that they gave us last night and make it about the people, we've never lost Vinegar Hill. We've never lost our community. But we have to engage with one another, and we have to have conversation about what we want to keep intact. Stop focusing on what you lost and focus on what you still have. And that's the people.
And you know what I also saw last night with the panel discussion and those 4 Jefferson alumni, and I was sharing this with Ray's as well, is that I saw kids again who were talking about their experiences
60,
in their classrooms.
Yep.
60, 70, possibly older,
Like
giggling and just watching them go back down memory lane took us there. We could have been sitting right there in that same classroom or walking those same streets to school and listening to their stories and their experiences about attending that school and the community. So it was a good time.
Yeah, that's important. And that, what y'all both just said, like, I got to connect the dots there. It's what I just heard both of y'all say. Like, that is of the utter importance of what we need to be able to relay to people nowadays. Of the whole, it really is about like that connection of seeing that this school really meant something to them,
right?
And that and it brought back that nostalgia that Max is talking about, right? Because it was so much about us, right? It was so much about community, about families and whatnot. So then now, when people talk about why they should support or why they should go to events or sign up for membership and all that kind of thing, like that is why, because it was said how it is a nucleus of our history that's still standing. Maybe the only thing that we have from that long ago that's still standing. And how many times did we mention when you step,
it's the longest oldest
building
building
in the atmosphere, you can feel
from Vinegar
feel
Hill. Yeah, good point, Charles. Great point.
And that whole people thing, man, like that is spot on. That's right on point, because like our situations, right, of losing things, like you said, instead of focusing on what we lost, like that deters our relationship so much.
True.
Like loss deters our relationships when it shouldn't. And as you just said, man, it's like we focus on each other, don't lose faith in each other and who we are, right, as a people, then that legacy is going to carry on, and our kids going to be so much better for us.
That's right. And again, helping to engage with the students of the Jefferson School, because the 4 that were on stage were not the only ones attending the event who had also who were also Jefferson alumni. But in speaking to them, you got a real understanding of what torch you were carrying forward, right? And we talk about this in so many different areas of just knowing where you come from, so you know where you're going. And we got a sense of what we need to do and why we're doing it, and talking to them and sharing that event. So
I got to say it. I got to say it. I can't hold it. Max done got me started.
I thought we was going to break.
No, we ain't going to break. Look, Miss Sheffield, you did an amazing job. Come hella high water, what you went through to get to where you're going. Hey, we had your back. Everybody that was there had your back. You should be commended for the work that you did. And even at the end of the night, after all that woman did to make that thing come to pass, she didn't even want to take credit. She didn't even want to be acknowledged. She didn't want her flowers at all, so to speak, at the end of the night. She just wanted everybody that was at the Jefferson to appreciate what they were going through and what they were seeing. Like, I mean, that the torch, not putting shadow on any work anybody else has ever done, but the torch doesn't have to be passed. A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. Let that woman do what she does over there. And it's going to benefit the Jefferson, the community, and everybody that has chance to come through those doors.
Well said. Well said. So we handled that local news. If we take a quick break and we're going to get back to some of the national headlines that folks talking about.
Vote Trump. No, I'm just playing. We got to wake them up. I'm sorry.
Charles scratching his head.
I am Talk Show.